Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the APFC Flyweight division, sponsored by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and officially weighed in 123.8 pounds. Coming in tonight with 4 victories and 3 defeats, and fighting out of Markham, Illinois, Anthony Backwoods Jackson. And across the cage, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and officially weighed in at 125.4 pounds. Coming in tonight with 4 wins and 4 losses, and fighting out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, Abimael Martinez. And your referee in charge is Tom DeVellis.
Tom DeVellis, our third man inside the APFC cage for this flyweight affair, as Abimael Martinez takes on Anthony Backwoods Jackson. Ready to go is Anthony Jackson as Abimael Martinez meets him in the center of the cage. We are underway, David.
Both of these guys stepping in the center, no one really taking a step back. We're seeing them making reads. Abimael Martinez leads with that back foot, looking to land the mark here on Jackson, but Jackson counters back with a beautiful 3-2 out of that southpaw stance.
Well, we saw it pretty much immediately as they met in the center of the cage. Much rangier, much taller is Backwood Jackson as he slices in with a darting left hand.
Jackson doing a great job of throwing combinations, punches and bunches. I like that he's not throwing too much of himself into any one punch, constantly being in a good posture, which allows him to follow up. He gets the takedown here, and now he's looking to land some ground and pound here on Martinez.
Very impressive was that takedown, not just getting him to the canvas from the double underhooks, but landing in that full mount is Backwoods Jackson, as he was it seemed like he was very pragmatic in the way that he took him down. He landed beautifully into that mount and immediately putting that shoulder pressure on Abimael Martinez.
Doing a great job getting Martinez to the cage, using his head over Martinez's head to keep him down, not allowing him to build height here. I think Jackson's off to a great start, you know, just smothering Martinez here, a minute and a half into the round.
Now, if you're in the corner of Abimael Martinez, what are you I was going to ask, how are you looking to get out from that bottom position? But it looked almost as if Jackson was happy to meet him back up on the feet.
Martinez was headed in the right direction, looking to wall walk and create a scramble. I think Jackson just figured, hey, it's better to get back to where I was having success, you know, out here in range, just throwing combinations, leading with the jab, looking for that big right hand. He switched now to an orthodox stance, which is going to give Martinez a different look. So here's the thing, Christian, the thing about switching stances, your defense is almost never as good on your bad side. Whether you're orthodox traditionally or southpaw, when you switch, even though you can be offensive, it's really, really hard to have your offensive and defensive skill equate there.
We'll see if that is indeed the case, as we're seeing Anthony Jackson doing a really good job of moving back and forth. But to your point, David, I think we're going to have to see if that, maybe that becomes the case as Abimael Martinez starts to throw a little bit more. But as of right now, it really feels like Martinez is becoming a touch more tentative as Jackson continues to press forward.
He's becoming tentative a bit. However, his eyes are still open. I think what he's doing, he's looking to catch Jackson coming in. He wants to counter with a big right hand, like one big shot. However, Jackson doing a great job of coming in, but then stepping right back out of range, as you said earlier.
It's that darting cross from Jackson that's been landing on the nose of Martinez. Already you're seeing the effects. The nose is busted up. He slices in with that long range from such a far distance. A lot of times it seems as Martinez is unable to catch a beat on it.
Speaking of catching a beat, Jackson has caught a rhythm with his combinations here, 3-2, landing combinations, and then isolating that body lock, taking his time, getting Martinez to the ground, solidifying the position on his way down, which I think was very intelligent. Then, as we saw, he had some success. However, as he switched stance, we talk about the defense. He switched to orthodox here, and that's where we saw Martinez kind of have some success with his counters. So I think Jackson, even though he's doing great, we have to be careful as we switch back and forth. And when we do it, there has to be a method to the madness.
Potentially the reason he very quickly switched back to his southpaw stance very shortly thereafter. A fantastic catch from one of the best colored commentators in the game, the indomitable David Evans. What a night of action we have unfolding before us right now, as this flyweight bout has everyone in here buzzing. As Backwood Jackson, if you heard the pop when Backwood Jackson came out, it's clear he has quite the contingent behind him, and we're seeing it's for good reason.
Definitely, and we can see the confidence in him as he throws strikes. He looks just so smooth, man, as he darts in and out and just throws combinations with little to no effort.
And also now landing a couple of tough left leg kicks there is Jackson.
Martinez did a great job throwing that big left hook on the exit there. I think he's going to have great success, you know, breaking the rhythm that Jackson has kind of built up if he does that. Fighting in between the fights, that's important.
Now coming forward a bit more is Abimael Martinez, as he's probably realized that he's got to take the center of that cage and keep it if he wants to change the tide.
Jackson doing a great job throwing that two right down the middle, stepping off to the angle, which is great. So he's not there for Martinez's counter. I mean, so far, Jackson just seems to be a step ahead of Martinez here on the feet.
And I gotta ask you, David, if you're in the shoes of Abimael Martinez and you figure, okay, I'm gonna put this guy in his back foot, but he continues to counter as you push him back, that's gotta be discouraging.
It has to be it is discouraging, excuse me. What he has to do is he has to add another layer. He's doing a great job of moving forward and pressuring. However, where are the feints? Where are we feinting our shots? Where are we moving up and down? Where are we moving laterally? He has to give Martinez a different look. Right now, he's letting Jackson lead the dance. He has to take control of the cadence here.
Fantastic points, and most certainly things they should be considering. They may be amateurs, but clearly both of these guys approaching their 10th amateur fight at the precipice of that next step. The question is, how does tonight go down? What does tonight tell us about their trajectory?
Right now, if Jackson's telling you anything, is that he's looking for a win. I mean, he's doing everything right. Martinez just doesn't seem to have an answer yet. I mean, the striking, he's shutting down the grappling of Martinez. It just doesn't seem that Martinez has anything that Jackson, you know, should worry about at this point, outside of just pressure.
What we saw right now, it was Jackson getting the match back to the canvas with that same double underhook takedown. For what it's worth, we did see Martinez put up a bit more of a struggle as he was wise to it this time, but nonetheless, Jackson was able to take him down, score those points for the takedown as they worked their way back up to the feet.
Oftentimes when you see a southpaw and an orthodox fighter, it's all about that foot battle, right? Who can box who in with that lead foot? I think Jackson is so comfortable, he's not even concerned about giving up that position to Martinez. And I mean, that should be a slight if you're Martinez.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because it has been Martinez's lead foot on the outside of Jackson's, but Jackson just takes that opportunity to slice that left cross right down the center. So it almost works to the advantage of Jackson.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, we are sitting here with suits on and headsets. We're not at the judges' table, but it sure as heck feels like it's 2 rounds in the book for Jackson.
I'd say so myself here, Christian. Here we have the replay. Look at the movement there by Jackson, moving the hands, just kind of hypnotizing Martinez. You can't really predict when he's punching and when he's just moving to throw you off your rhythm here. Martinez looking to get into a grappling exchange. However, Jackson had every answer for him. Nice little inside leg trip, solidified the takedown with the body lock. And I believe that was the second takedown there for Jackson.
Correct. And as you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'd imagine we're going to be seeing more of this same if you're Anthony Backwoods Johnson. But if you're Abimael Martinez, I think you got to come out and swing for the fences.
Yeah, I mean, either that or just you got to throw a whole new game plan. Like, let's get to the leg attacks here. You know, all of his grappling attacks have been up top. I mean, look at Jackson. He's a built guy. He's pretty strong, clearly. However, let's test the lower half of his body. Let's add some feints. He's doing a great job, like, looking for that right hand. It's a tad bit slow. Let's look for the left hook and box Jackson in. He just really needs to mix up his approach to his striking.
Well, continuing to press forward is Abimael Martinez, and continuing to box off of his back leg is Backwood Jackson. Now finding a home for that jab as he switches back to his southpaw. He's orthodox, he's southpaw. He's non-stop pressure is what he is. It's really impressive, David, when you see somebody like Backwoods Jackson. We talk about the pressure, right, of Martinez, but while moving backwards, Jackson continues to pop Martinez, keep pressuring him with his own offense. It's really, really clean. It's really, really sharp.
However, he cannot relax and sit back and take a look at his work because Martinez is starting to find a home for the big right hand on Jackson.
Well, just 2 minutes left in this flyweight contest as Abimael Martinez looks to snatch victory away from Anthony Backwood Johnson in this third and final stanza. A beautiful left cross again landing for Backwoods. It feels like if you're Anthony Backwoods Jackson, you keep landing with some sort of consistency. You don't give up anything crazy. You just might be able to galvanize that win in this third round. But there is no quit in Martinez.
Martinez still moving forward. He's still very much in this fight. I just think, you know, he's a bit outclassed here on his feet up to this point. However, never say never. It's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say. Martinez still looking for a way to victory here tonight.
To your point, I believe it was in the last second, or was it 2 seconds that our last fight took a huge turn. So anything is still very much possible with under a minute remaining in this flyweight contest.
I don't know if it's a little bit of fatigue here by Jackson. He's still looking good. However, he doesn't have as much pep in his step, and he's leaving that chin in the air. And Martinez is finding the spot. There's not much behind those punches, but it only takes one, Christian.
Absolutely, Martinez did indeed find the mark with one of his right hands there, and Jackson then countering with that double underhook. We'll see if he goes for that same trip once again. With less than 20 seconds left, these two square off in the center of the cage once again, and we'll see if they will slug it to the final bell. Abimael Martinez lands one last right hand, as this one will go to our judges, as Abimael Martinez goes all 3 rounds with Anthony Backwoods Jackson. Will Abimael Martinez take his record into the positive, going 5-4, or will this be Anthony Jackson's 5th win as an amateur? It sure felt like Anthony Jackson was firing on all cylinders, and potentially playing catch-up was Abimael Martinez. But that is not my call to make, as our judges will be tabulating their scorecards momentarily. Let's take a look at this replay. Abimael Martinez, there's that right hand he most certainly found a home for as the fight progressed. But Anthony Backwood Johnson staying on his horse, moving, continuing to dart in and out, popping jabs, crosses, and continuing offensive, even when he was on his back foot. And that was the case from beginning to end. But now it's a matter of waiting to see if the judges are in agreement with everything myself and my partner David saw. Of course, our view not necessarily the same as the experts. We're going to be calling and making sure that this one goes into the record book accordingly. Anthony Backwood Jackson, seeming confident that he'll be taking home another victory to MMA stop in Patch City. Nonetheless, a valiant outing for Abimael Martinez out of Titletown MMA. Both of these fighters getting plenty of cage time and opportunity to learn and add to their skill set. But it's time to find out who our winner is. Michael Hansen.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. And the judges scored the contest 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Anthony Backwoods Jackson.